What's going on, guys? Dots Gaming here, and today I'm bringing you all a video going over the weapon and other miscellaneous combat changes coming in the Dragonhold patch of the Elder Scrolls Online. I've already made a couple videos going over the patch notes, but today in this one I want to be going over the weapon stuff to give you guys a preview of what weapons and other changes are coming to the game. So there's going to be one change in particular that I know is going to cause a lot of uproar. So I want to give my opinion on it and give my opinion on what I think of it, and then I do want to hear what you guys think about it in the comment section below. I know some people think the change is good, other people think the change is crippling. I'm on the crippling camp, so I'll see what you guys think. So starting with two-handed weapons, cleave, carve, reduce the damage of this morph by 60%. If you guys did not check out my class video on the patch notes, I goes over why ZOS is quote unquote nerfing things this hard. It's if you go back to my last video, I go over it in the general combat and ability changes. So I would go check that out. So anyway, back to weapons. So carve, 60% damage nerf, just a fatty nerf, dude. Critical charge, stampede, increase the duration of this morph to 10 seconds up from 8, but reduce the damage per tick of this ability by 42%. Momentum. Fix an issue where this animation would fail to display if you had a longer source of major brutality on your character. Thank God this was really toxic on Warden. Reverse slice. Fix an issue where the AoE damage of this ability could critically strike. Since the initial hit can already crit, this would effectively allow the effect to double crit, contributing to a tremendous power spike. Uppercut. Reduce the damage dealt by this ability and morphs by 16% to ensure it does not eclipse other damage abilities such as dots. Dizzying swing. This morph no longer knocks back the target and stuns them, but instead sets them off balance for 7 seconds. This is by far my least favorite change in the entire patch notes. I absolutely loathe the fact that they are taking the stun away from Dizzying Swing. Now, if you notice, there is no onslaught nerf. Okay? Now, so many people are like, Dots, this is such a good change. Dizzying Swing is just so powerful. It's so powerful. No. Dizzying Swing is a combo enabler, okay? That's what Dizzying Swing is primarily used for. The stun is nice. The damage is nice, but people use Dizzying Swing because it is a good combo starter, okay? You can Dizzying Swing into a combo very easily. Warden goes Dizzying Swing, Shulk's Onslaught, okay? Dizzying Swing is really good for setting up Onslaught. That's a primary reason that a lot of STAM classes use this ability in the first place, or even on DK, you Dizzying Swing into Leap. It enables you to deal burst damage on a target very reliably. So what needs to be addressed is not Dizzying Swing. I think Dizzying Swing is fine. It's been the same way. It's, for 5 years. I don't think suddenly Dizzying Swing is just overpowered. What Dizzying Swing enabled is what the problem was. So I think Onslaught was the real thing that should have been nerfed here, not Dizzying Swing, okay? And if people are like, no, Dots, you're wrong. Dizzying Swing is still just fucking OP and blah, blah, blah. Instead, bring the cast time back up to 1 second. Nerf the damage. But don't pirate skeleton the skill. Don't throw it in the trash can, But unlike Pirate Skeleton did need a nerf. Again, way over nerfed, and ZOS just did that. They just over nerfed the shit out of the set, and it's basically completely unusable now. But that did kind of warrant a nerf. In this case, I just don't think D-Swing it needed the nerf. You try to D-Swing a good player, man, you had a fucking miserable time. They'd walk through you, they dodge roll, they'd block. And I had so many people be like, but Dots, Magicka characters can't dodge roll Dizzying Swing too many times. Walk through your opponent. You can literally walk through. If you see someone trying to D-Swing you, walk through them. If you play against somebody who's super elusive and who actually has good movement speed, which we will next patch on Magicka as well with that new set that gives you 20% movement speed on a shield activation, just walk through your opponent. Just like they have to aim at you while the entire channel of Dizzying Swing to land that shit. They need to start it looking at you and they need to end it looking at you. I think in the middle you can technically not be fully targeting, but they have to start and end that shit looking at you. So if you can go walk through your opponent, yeah, maybe dodge roll, okay, or maybe hold block. You can cause them to miss their Dizzying Swings frequently. And Again, I know some people were like, but Dots, Magicka can't do that. We only have so much stam. I play Magicka, I know. But what you do is if you see someone going for a D-swing, it means they're trying to set up their combo. So what you do is you dodge roll the very obvious tell that D-swing has, you stun your opponent with your own stun, and then you start to put them on the back foot. So now they have to go through, reapply their defensive buffs, get that stuff rolling, and then they have to prep their offensive combo again with Dizzying Swing, which means that when you see them doing that prep, you dodge it again, you block it again, you walk through them, maybe you use Mist Form. You have options. Dizzying Swing has counterplay options. This change is just so frustrating. It's just so frustrating to me. I would have much rather they brought the cast time back up or just reduced the damage. But Dizzying Swing or the uppercut is now one of the most boring skills in the game. You either can gain in power or set your target off balance. I'm sorry, it's just this change is the one that bothered me the most, so I am the most salty towards this change, I do admit. But moving on. One-handed shield, puncture, ransack, fixed an issue with a minor protection, grants invisibility was additive rather than multiplicative. Dual wield, flurry, reduce the damage up on this ability and its morphs by 8% to ensure it does not eclipse other damage abilities such as dots. Bloodthirst, fixed an issue where the heal from this ability was not properly increasing by 1% of the damage dealt per rank. Twin Slashes got a 63% damage nerf. Reduce the healing per tick of this morph and by approximately 20% to ensure it heals for a closer value to the damage dealt. Blade Cloak, increase the duration of this ability to 10 seconds up from 8, increase the cost to 5,000 up from 3,000, also reduce the damage by a third. Quick Cloak now offers cost reduction, bringing the base skill down to 3780. Bow, Poison Arrow, 63% damage nerf. Ballista, updated the tooltip of this ability to show its true range to prevent confusion in areas where you can increase your range yet fail to actually increase the range of the ability. Scattershot, Draining Shot, no longer knocks back the target, but instead reduces their movement speed by 60%. So Draining Shot no longer stuns. You need to use Magnum Shot if you want the stun. Volley, increase the base cost of this ability and its morphs up to 4,500 from 2,808. Decrease the damage per tick of this of the skill and its morphs by 70%. The tooltips now properly mention the true duration. Dude, that's such a fat cost increase, dude. I can't even understand. Like, dude, it just costs as much as the Magicka dots, man. It's just insane. Oh, no, excuse me. Slightly less. It doesn't cost 5,000. It's 4,500. Whoop-de-doo. Ancient Knowledge. Fix an issue where this passive would not properly work with specific pets. Destructive Touch. Decrease the dot by 63%. Wall of Elements. Increase the base duration of this morph of the skills in its morph to 10 seconds up from 8. Increase the base cost to 5,000 up from 3,000. Reduce the damage per tick by 33%. Wow. It just, man, it's so like your heart sinks reading these notes, you know? Like, yeah, the dot meta was toxic and all, but just seeing the whole, how much they were like, they missed last patch, that we need 63% nerfs is crazy. But like I said, the part that doesn't even bother, like the damage nerfs or whatever, man, like that part isn't even what annoys me. Like, granted, yeah, they way overdid it on the damage nerfs because dots are, like, basically kind of useless now, honestly. I go over it in my last video, but I'm just going to give you an abridged version in case you didn't watch it. There are some people that are reporting that they get better damage parses by completely foregoing dots, with the exception of Wall of Elements and Volley, to just give you your Berserker enchants as well as your VMA weapon stuff, like your weapon bonus, right? And they just boost up the passive damage of their spammable. That is dealing more damage in a parse or equal damage than using a quote-unquote normal rotation. So yeah, dots were nerfed that much. Okay, and if you look at these costs, why the hell would I ever use them? You know? The cost increase is what gets me, man. The cost increase is just what gets me. And granted, dots need to be nerfed. Absolutely. They were super overperforming, but this was my exact fear. They needed to be nerfed, but not this much. This is just wildly out of control. Soul Trap. This ability needs more to no longer fill soul gems if the target affected by them was a target dummy. Obviously. Fix an issue where the application of these abilities could be dodged, where each tick of the damage could be dodged. Updated the visual effect to better line up the animation. Reduce the dot by 50%. Werewolf. Infectious Claws. His ability morphs now immediately apply the disease stat effect to enemies hit and do disease damage rather than hybrid physical disease damage. Decrease the damage per tick of these abilities by approximately 60%. Claws of Life now heals for 100% of the damage caused instead of 50%, will still result in an overall reduction since the base damage has been reduced. Werewolf Transformation. Berserker. Bleed has been nerfed by 50%. Werewolf's just been getting beat, man. Werewolf's just been getting beat down. Trap Beast. Reduce the damage, reduce the dot of this skill by 63%. Entropy. Reduce the dot by 50%. Structured Entropy as well as the base no longer grant major sorcery. Reduce the base cost of this ability down to 2,700, down to 2,700 from 2,970. Degen will no longer grant you Magicka back, but will now give major sorcery. So in a patch where they are absurdly increasing the cost of the abilities, and you thought, well, saving grace, at least I have Degen. No, you don't anymore. Scalding Rune, 60% damage decrease. Mend Wounds, fix an issue where many of the animations of the heavy attacks of this abilities and its morphs. So they just fixed a bunch of issues with the heavy attacks on this. Undaunted, spawn broodlings, fix an issue where the spiders spawn from the synergies and the other morphs would immediately fade out of existence, spawn death rather than displaying death animations. Trapping webs. This ability is morph style lasts 10 seconds, up from 5. Fix an issue where the synergies granted from these abilities were lasting longer than the ability that housed it. Warhorn will now only apply to group members. Cleanse got nerfed, reduced the healing per negative effect to 5% from 10%. Consumables. Lingering health pots. These affix on consumable potions will now last for similar durations compared to powerful affixes such as expedition or protection. So a max level potion will now only grant 13 seconds of lingering health. Initially, when I read this change, I freaked out because I was like, I can't believe they just neutered the shit out of lingering HP pots. But it does make sense. If you guys see how much damage is being nerfed, it only makes sense that lingering HP gets nerfed as well, because if it didn't, they'd be super strong. So I understand this. Shield play enchants will no longer grant bash cost reduction and are instead called bracing enchants. Potions that increase your physical resistance now no longer grant major resolve reward, but instead just grant a unique value of resistance. So if you want a defensive potion, armor pots might be oddly enough the way to go. But that's our weapon changes, man. That's our weapon changes as well as other stuff. So like potions and guilds and whatnot. What do you guys think, man? Shit. Like, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the balance changes this patch, if I'm just going to be honest, man. Like I said, the cost increases on top of these sweeping damage nerfs, it just makes no sense. I get that they wanted to nerf power creep a little bit, okay? But like, holy shit. They nerfed dots into being so irrelevant that they're not even worth slotting sometimes. And they increased the base cost ridiculously. I think they should have nerfed dot damage, absolutely, but they went too far. And I don't like the cost increases. I like the nerfs, but again, too heavy-handed, typical. And again, I love Zos, but they do this bullshit all the time where they double dip on nerfs. I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. But that's just my personal opinion. You know, I felt reading the notes. What do you guys think? Do you guys think some of these changes are good? Do you think they're warranted? I want to hear what you guys think in the comment section below. And if you guys like this patch notes reading, I'd appreciate it if you left a like on the video. And for more great ESO content, as well as Dragonhold PTS coverage, please hit that sub button as well as the bell to keep notifications on. So thank you all so much for stopping by today. I very much appreciate it. As always, I'm Dots Gaming, and I'll see you all in the next one.